to whom it may concern. The fact is, leave the delusion of one Nigeria. The delusion of one Nigeria is a joke, just like I said, it's a delusion, right? So disabuse your mind from that delusion. This point in time, if you're still thinking there's one Nigeria, you are a joker. Because it's in this same one Nigeria that by the words of the mouth of Mazen Nandekano, he's convicted and charged for terrorism. And he's sentenced to life, Abi. But we have a bunch of terrorists. Now, the last time I checked, one even unalive, almost 40 people. 40 people. And at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation to release them into the society. And what I'm trying to say is, these people that are released have the power, have the right to travel to any other state of their choice in the spirit of one Nigeria to reside and stay, and even their sympathizers. So in so doing, why am I calling on the state governors and individuals concerned to make their governors accountable? The fact is, I think at this point in time, there is need for any state to enforce a law that ensures that any individual traveling into his own state to reside from another state, he must have there must be a kind of a system, possibly a certification or an ID card that proves where he's coming from, that he's accounted for. That is to say, the chief of whether Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Ibibi, or whatever, actually assigned to that card that he is a citizen and he should be accounted for by him. And secondly, the fact is, it must be attested to by his landlord that this is where he stays and he knows his character or whatever, and anything that happens. Why am I saying this? Because at the end of the day, these people in the bush actually require sympathizers, and they equally require people to pass them information. And these people giving them information are people that are going to reside in the society or the community. And in so doing, that is to say, conclusively, we can actually say that the era of Hausa quarters, Fulani quarters, Ibibio quarters in a state where you reside is gone. It's gone sincerely. Because the fact is, you can never have that. The fact is, when they are moving to a state, they must integrate into the society. That is to say, they must pay rent, they must whatever, they must... Are we even talking about this? This is what the world operates at the moment. You can't travel to developed countries and say that you are unaccounted for, you don't have an address that is linked to you or whatever. The fact is, this is supposed to be the responsibility of the federal government when we have a central collection data. But there's no central collection data. And the state governors have the resources to do this if they are not eating the money. Do you get it? So make them to do that. This is just like I keep telling people, my plan good, but my method harsh. I'm a northerner. If you do that to me, I am telling you, in anywhere I go, I will not pick offense. But the fact is, this is the reality. This is how it presents itself, and this is how it must dealt with. It must be dealt with. And the second thing I want to talk about here is the fact that, sincerely, I'm looking at a situation where governors now will start having a new ministry of drones. Why am I saying ministry of drones? In case of surprise attack, maybe they are coming from bush, we don't know them when they sleep. Even if it means designating half of the resources of the state to have this ministry of drones, I'm telling you, to oversee all other activity in anywhere. I am telling you, let it be. Do you get it? Let it be. So that it won't be a surprise attack. And in the regards of people staying in the bush at this point in time, Nigeria don't pass that level. Except you know one peace. If you want peace, there's nothing like people staying in the bush. That is their culture, is their right. Talking about the Fulanis. Nothing like that. The fact is, maybe possibly any state in its kind gesture. If you feel like accommodating the Fulanis, give them a designated land. That you should know that this place belongs to Fulanis and this is where they are resident. That is to say, any suspicious movement outside this place, because farmers know they farm for night. Now in the day in the farm. Finish them. Report them as unusual movement. And this is what will curtail all these things. But if you are still thinking that we are hoping for 2027 and there's going to be a president that will address this, they go finish you. They go finish you. Just like Majid said, they will move small. Because take it or leave it. What do you mean by dialogue? Suluhu. God. So, I hope people are listening actually. My plan good, my method harsh. I'm telling you, northern bandits, northern terrorists are the fourth arm of government. Now talk and do people. Shena Gumi, they talk this thing like play. You don't see governor don't join. Commissioner don't even join. They make that statement. They even defend them. Say in the global world that such is obtainable and is done. But I want to challenge all these people. Show me one place in the world where this kind of thing is done. That in a particular, in the same country, people have decided to carry arm in the midst of whatever it is that has happened. And they say they have been treated badly or whatever. And they now captured people, they unalive people. And in the same country, that they are now calling for a kind of releasing these people that have caused this havoc. Not a country against a country, same country. And we call this one Nigeria. That is why Chinua Achebe said there was a country. And indeed, there was a country. So if you like, keep sleeping and keep fighting in regards who is the next president. Whether not Bola Tinubu or no be Bola Tinubu. And allow F9. People like F9 and the rest of it to become your governor. And we'll all be hoping for the president, the Messiah that will solve this. Before that will happen, everybody go don't finish in the hands of these people. I'm telling you, this is an agenda. There is an ideological concept here.
The first pictures you'll be seeing on my screen here are the pictures of government officials, of both state and local government officials from Zamfara State and Katsina State in the midst of terrorists, bandits, people that have killed Nigerians of both Christians and Muslim alike, people that have destroyed lives and properties, people that are collecting tax from farmers, from poor farmers before they're allowed to go to farm, people that have caused insecurity, destruction of lives and properties, people that should be arrested, jailed or killed, eliminated completely for the sanity and safety of the Nigerian state. No. But look at them in the midst of government officials, taking pictures. Can you see the government officials in between them? Taking pictures, romancing them, negotiating with terrorists in Nigeria. But you know what? These guys are not in jail. Nobody arrested them. Nobody took them to court. In fact, they're still moving around, operating. Nobody has called to question the government officials that are involved in such act, knowing that such a thing is a treason against the Nigerian state to negotiate with people or to try to fraternize with people that have caused tolls of deaths of innocent Nigerians. But still, these guys are working free. Nobody has questioned them. Nobody's done anything. And nobody has jailed them yet. The next set of picture you are seeing on my screen is the picture of the terrorist sympathizer and the terrorist himself, the terrorist negotiator, sympathizer, facilitator, and the terrorist himself, Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, Abubakar Gumi. Look at what is in the midst of terrorists, exchanging gifts, romancing them, giving them hugs and kisses, and negotiating for them, telling the Nigerians, not the military, not to kill them, their brother, they're soldiers in the bush, they're soldiers that are keeping their forest safe. These are people that have killed, destroyed lives and properties of Nigerians, that have caused mayhem, that have brought genocide on the Christian populace of Nigeria. But this is Ahmed Gumi. Nobody have arrested him, nobody have taken him to court, nobody have done anything to Ahmed Gumi. He's going about, guess what he's being rewarded with? He's being rewarded with tons and tons of interviews. The media are giving him attention. The media are complicit. They are giving him attention. Every now and then, they go to him, talk to him. Let's hear what he wants to say. Let's see what to do. This is what the media are doing. Giving people that should be locked away. People that should not see the sun. Such a man should not see the sun for a year. He should be locked in a black site. Such a man is being given attention. He's not locked away. He's not arrested. He's not taken to court. Nothing is being done for this man. He's enjoying his life and going about doing what he knows how to do best, facilitate terrorism in Nigeria, encourage the terrorists by negotiating and collecting ransom for them so that they can buy more ammunition and continue to cause more chaos in Nigeria. Now, the next picture you're seeing on my screen here is a picture of a man, Victor, aka Zidane, that was arrested from his community, Kajuru local government, in the Adara chiefdom of Kajuru local government in Kaduna State. You will think this guy is a terrorist with the way they tied his hand behind, with the way he's looking. You will think he's a terrorist. You will even think he's a criminal. You will think he has killed and destroyed people with the way they arrested him. No. His simple offense is simply because he refused to allow himself get killed, and he refused to allow the Fulani military jihadists, terrorist jihadists, to kill himself. So he defended his land, defended his home, defended his family, and defended himself. And because of that, he was arrested. Under the government of the devil himself, the man, what's his name, Erufai, under Erufai's government, we all know, this is nothing new, we all know that one of the people that suffered more of terror attack in Kaduna State during the days of the rule of such a man called Erufai was the Adara chiefdom. The Ajaratino suffered, so that every now and then they are being killed. The Christian community of Ajaratino are being killed, coming here and there, every now and then. It is from one death to another, it is from one killing to another, it is from one genocide to another, under Erufai. And what was the cause? It was simply because the Erufai government was attempting to convert the Adara chiefdom into an emirate. You know, they are chiefdom don't go with emirate. They are a Christian community, they are Christian people, they are indigenous people. The land does not go with emirate. Emirate rulership has to do with the Fulanis. He wanted to convert the Adara chiefdom into an emirate, and the man refused, and the people rejected it, and the people stood vehemently and said, no, this cannot be. In fact, in October 18 of 2018, October 18 and 19 of 2018, the king of the kingdom was invited for a meeting with Erufai, and on his way back, or simply because of that particular issue, on his way back, he was kidnapped by the terrorists. I think the man stood his ground in the meeting, and he refused to allow his chiefdom, his land become an emirate, where the Fulanis would be ruled over them. On his way back, the man was kidnapped, and he was killed. Even though the ransom was collected, they still killed him and his body was found. And so this young man's offense that you are seeing here, because I want the world to bear witness to this. And they say, men of God, just don't focus on, don't talk about things like this, don't focus on politics, just keep praying for the country. And anybody that says God will punish you. Because we have become a people that have been depraved-minded, a people that have been insane, a people without direction. And such a thing is happening in Nigeria. Now, this young man's offense was simply because he has refused to allow himself get killed, just like the case of Sunday Jackson. In the process of the aggressor attacking him, the Fulani jihadists, the terrorists, the man stood his ground, fought them, and defeated them. And instead of the military doing the investigation and arresting more of the Fulani that attacked his community, no, they arrested this man, and under El Rufai's government, he was sent to jail. He was sent to jail since 2018. I think 2017 or 2018. He has been in jail since because the El-Rufai government tried everything to ensure that he subjugated the Adara chiefdom. In fact, in most cases, when the people of the community in Adara chiefdom decide to say, we're going to defend ourselves, from nowhere, the military will go into the community, raid the community, collect their weapons from every home, and do you know what? The moment they leave, the very next day, Fulanis will strike, and they'll kill them again. And you think El-Rufai does not know anything about all this? Because the man was simply putting pressure on the community because he wants to make it an emirate. Now, this young man stood his ground to say no, and because of that, he has been incarcerated and in prison for the past 8 years or so. And we are all moving on. And later we'll be talking about sovereignty. What stupid sovereignty? What useless sovereignty are we talking about? And Nigeria is a sovereignty. Does any sovereignty do something like this? And we keep moving on as though nothing is happening. Now, a judge has released, has discharged his case. A judge has discharged, I don't know his name, but I'm going to put it there now. A judge had discharged the case of this young man so that he can go free. But just recently, another Muslim Fulani judge convicted this guy and sentenced him to death. What is his offense? He defended himself from being killed. He did not allow himself to be killed. He did not allow his family to be killed. He did not allow his hometown, his land to become an emirate. That is why he's been jailed. I want to call on the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I want to appreciate you on your effort in the release of Sunday Jackson. We thank you for that. I also thank you that you heeded to the call when I advised that you should partner with the United States. And we see the result of that. For the past few weeks now, the situation of Nigeria of the insecurity have abated a bit. Please do not allow this to happen. I call on President Trump also. I call on the US government, intervene just like you have been intervene in the affairs of this young man. Don't let this man die simply because he allowed his land to become an emirate under the rulership of the devil himself, the El-Rufai man. He did not allow himself to be killed. He protected himself, he protected his family. These are things that are basic things for every human to do. Protection of life and property. Life is sacrosanct. Before your purpose to God, it is first your responsibility to keep yourself alive. And this man has done nothing but for self-defense. Yet he's been convicted, he has been sentenced to death. This young man, Zidane, must not die. This young man must not die. The US government, President Trump, please intervene and see to it. The Lord bless you. Thank you.
You're welcome back. See, anybody will be saying, go meet you, say, the one Nigeria is negotiable and possible. What you go do to that person now to hold that person for neck, slap him or tie him, waiting no good. Do slap, give slap, I be saying no go if you forget. You get within down sub for inside not again, where be say they make the Arewa seats just they unhappy. Waiting sub where be say no. See recently them say that people where be say na them be where be say them they buy people for the north wey be say everybody don't know, like people like Adaleru and many other guys wey be say they don't arrest before. You know that they don't release them. Say may they call them back to the society. They see wetin they go on. If you know this Mazid, you get one man wey be say him name na Mazid, wey be say they normally talk through. Now Muslim wey him be na northern Muslim and Islamics clear with wey be say him be. He come out come condemn that act, say why be say people wey be say they dey kpai people, wey be say even the governors of the Arewas know, why be say they go come give them dialogue, say make they come back here. As they come back now, say those people now, they don't leave them now, they don't leave them. They know they in captivity again. They just say make them they go. They just free them, say make them they go. Make they go anywhere where we say they won't do anything in the whole Nigeria in the name of this one Nigeria, because as them they don't claim, they say the governor don't tell them say na Nigeria na one EB. So any state where we say you won't work, as they won't give you this dialogue, make you go there, go they work allegedly. Now wetin they tell them where people they explain. So wetin be all this? Now the reason why this person where be say in first talk for here the talk say before anybody go fit comot, or before una go permit anybody from their own region where be say go come there, or he go come any state, come like they do any business or come there with you. If you don't see any stranger where be say they come your side, make you just know say or tell your government or any governor of that state to just make sure there is a certificate given to any stranger coming to any state. Although the idea we say that guy bring na better idea, because indirectly now waiting the northern governors where we say they free these people in the name of dialogue, where say that okay, make them go to any state, go they do any work where they waiting be their own idea. Be say okay, make these people now make them come up for their own side. Although indirectly now they pass this message, make them come up for there, make they go to any other thing, make they go they do make they go they do anything where them like, make they go they buy. Everything that they try to tell them, and they don't give them that hand, say anywhere where you go, nobody will feel hold you. I will see them they talk. Although when I see the way these people they explain for me, I can't be like, now we where be say okay, we don't know we see what they do. Now we they make all these things they happen, because now for South or now for Kaduna here, where be say person in go do or in go retaliate to waiting Fulani don't do to her. They still hold that person, and they still don't sentence that person to buy now. Say they no go leave that person. Why it they happen? It they happen just because the people where say that they behind the henchmen in Nigeria. Now strong people where say they be, and they know they joke with their own people, because as them they notice say the henchmen and the people where say they be headers and their own personal people where say they no want me that they lose their life. So if they do anything, they go free them. But if you go against them, they go carry you. So if anybody say that this country belong to Fulani, make you know that now them get time. Now them get time, because this thing where say they happen to the north now. If you go to the north now them full there where say that they control. So this one now, everybody they condemn them. Although I don't know whether most of you guys now, everything that they hear me now, don't see about that one. But get within me, I want to talk. I get one question where I want to ask, because this is Nigeria, and this is where injustice is supposed to be tackled. When there is injustice in the land, there is no way the land be grow. Why we are not growing in Nigeria is what I am going to explain. Although me, I know normally say, if you come to the south, you see the governor, where we say they dey for inside the south. See, those men, now thief where we say they be. They are all thieves. Because what them know is how to carry our money, go they hide. Make it be say that they use them, they protect their children, where we say they know this Nigeria. Make that they wire your own money and your tax, where we say they come off for inside. Now what him them know If not, you see this one wey be say e happen recently, wey happen now. Na this kind of thing na im suppose ginger people wey be say, all the governor wey be say dem dey for inside the south say, okay, since una don give these people wey be say, okay, they don buy most, or they don buy the they don carry Nigerians blood, since una don release them. You see this Kanu and many other people wey be say, okay, una hold, although we know say, okay, no be everybody for inside the south support Kanu, but get wetin I wan let you know. These people now, they don dey claim say, okay, they get idea pass we. So even though no be everybody like Kanu, wetin I dey try talk be say, make all of una wey be say una be governors, because I know say na una wey be governors and una no like am. If not the poor people wey dey for Nigeria, they like that man. Una go use that una own idea say, okay, since una don dey do this thing, we go carry our own person comot for inside Sokoto, come back to our own side, make e dey, make we give am that amnesty too. Although I dey do all this thing, make it be say the south then dey together. Now why be say, see, wetin me I dey fight for? I dey fight make it be say south they get freedom over wetin other people dey do. That is why me I dey talk. If they hold anybody from Yoruba now, I go come talk. Wey be say they go release, and if they hold anybody from for the north from among the Igbos, I go come talk. If they hold anybody now from Edo, I go come talk. If they hold anybody now from this place, Isho, I go come talk. If they hold anybody now from Delta, if they hold anybody now from Bayelsa, if they hold anybody now from any places where be say you know say na inside the south there dey, me I dey like put mouth, because I no wan make the thing wey be say e no dey happen to the north, make it dey happen to the south. That is why anything wey be say concern everybody in the south, I dey put my mouth. Na so e be. So that is all I can say today. So wetin I go tell you be say, make you comot that one Nigeria mindset for inside you. Make your life be long, because there is nothing like that. Now wetin I get to let you guys know today. And for you, wey be say you get wetin you want tell us now today, if you get am, make you drop am below. And also, if na today be the first time, if you say you dey come here, make you like, share, subscribe. Thank you.